In today's top stories, former President Donald Trump has launched a fresh attack on Ukrainian President Zelensky, criticizing his leadership amidst going peace talk with Russia. Meanwhile, Trump has signed an executive order expanding presidential control over independent federal agencies. In domestic policies, he has taken action to reduce IVF costs, addressing concerns over affordability. The U.S. Department of Transportation has struck down New York City's congestion pricing plan, citing legal overreach. Kash Patel moves a step closer to becoming the first Indian American to lead the FBI, with the Senate voting paving the way for his confirmation. In India, Rekha Gupta has been appointed as Delhi's chief minister, marking a significant political shift. Tesla is ramping up its hiring in India, signaling serious plans for market entry. Qatar has pledged a $10 billion investment in India, boosting economic ties, while the growing human elephant conflict in the country raises environmental concerns. On the international front, Russia is advancing towards Ukraine's vast lithium deposits, adding a new dimension to the geopolitical struggle over critical resources. Trump attacks Zelensky amid peace talks. Former President Donald Trump has sharply criticized Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky, calling him a dictator without elections. Following Ukraine's exclusion from the US led peace talk with Russia, Trump took the truth social, stating that Zelensky should move fast or risk losing his country. He blamed the Ukrainian leader for mishandling the war, suggesting that he has profited from US financial aid while millions have suffered. Trump also claimed that the Europe has failed to negotiate peace and that only his administration is capable of ending the war. His remarks come as the conflict continues, with Ukraine seeking continued international support. Analysts suggest that Trump's comments may impact US Ukraine relations should he run for office again. Zelensky has yet to directly respond to Trump's remark but continued to emphasize Ukraine's resilience. As Russia continues its offensive, the global response remains divided on the best course of action to end the war. In a major policy shift, President Donald Trump signed an executive order aiming to bring independent federal agencies under direct presidential oversight. The order mandates that agencies such as the Federal Trade Commission and Securities and Exchange Commission submit major regulation to the office management and budget for approval. This move would significantly expand executive control, limiting agency autonomy. Critics argue that the order challenges the traditional separation of power and could face legal hurdles. The order also directs federal attorneys to align their legal interpretation with the opinion of the President and Attorney General Pam Bondi, further centralizing authority. Supporters of the move argue that it increases government efficiency and accountability. However, opponents warn that such an order could erode the independence of regulatory bodies. Legal experts predict that multiple lawsuits will be filed in response to this sweeping measure. Addressing growing concerns over the high cost of in vitro fertilization, President Trump has signed an executive order aimed at making the procedure more affordable. In order notes that IVF treatment currently range between $12,000 and $25,000 per cycle, making them inaccessible to many families. The administration will develop policies to lower out of pocket costs and improve access to fertility treatment within the next 90 days. The move has been welcomed by many, though critics argue that the broader healthcare reforms are needed to address reproductive health issues comprehensively. Many healthcare providers are seeking clarity on how the order will implement it. Some experts argue that without insurance mandate, access to IVF will still be difficult for low-income families. The administration is expected to hold a summit on reproductive health policies in the coming months. The US Department of Transportation has halted New York City congestion pricing plan, which was the first of its kind in the nation. The Federal Highway Administration determined that the plan exceeded congressional authority, leading to its termination. Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy criticized the plan, stating that it unfairly burdens working class commuters who already pay gas taxes for road maintenance. The decision is expected to spark debate over urban transit funding and environmental policies, as congestion prices was aimed at reducing traffic and pollution. City officials have expressed frustration over the decision, calling it a setback for sustainable urban planning. Environmental activists argue that the congestion tax was a critical step in addressing New York City's pollution levels. The state government is now considering alternative measures to generate revenue for its transportation system. Kash Patel is on the verge of becoming the first Indian American FBI director. With the US Senate narrowly advancing his nomination, the vote, which passed along party lines, paves the way for Patel's final confirmation. Patel, a close ally of Trump, has been a controversial figure due to his previous roles in national security and intelligence operations. If confirmed, he would join the other key Trump appointees, including Robert F. Kennedy Jr., Pete Hegseth, in reshaping federal leadership. Critics argue that Patel's close political ties to Trump could compromise the FBI's independence. Supporters believe that his leadership will bring much needed reform to the agency. The final Senate vote is expected later this week, with a narrow confirmation predicted. Rekha Gupta becomes Delhi's chief minister. In a significant political move, Rekha Gupta has been appointed as the Chief Minister of Delhi. Despite being a first time MLA, Gupta has a long history in politics and secured a decisive victory in the recent elections. The BJP's decision to back her over more established figure is seen as a strategic effort to strengthen its base in the capital. Gupta's campaign slogan, Kaam Hi Pehchan, my work is my identity, resonates with voters, and her leadership will closely watched as the BJP navigates governance challenges in Delhi. She has vowed to focus on key issues such as women's safety and job creation. Her leadership will also be tested in managing pollution control and traffic congestion in capital. Political analysts believe her performance will be a major factor in BJP's future electoral success. Tesla expand hiring in India. Elon Musk's Tesla is ramping up its hiring in India, indicating serious plan for market entry. Job posting for senior staff in Mumbai have appeared online just days after Musk's meeting with Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Tesla had previously halted its India expansion due to policy hurdles, but it's now reportedly seeking showroom space and considering local manufacturing. The company's renewed interest aligned with India's push for electric vehicle adoption and sustainable energy initiative. Industry experts believe that Tesla's presence in India could boost the domestic EV market. The government has also hinted at possible tax incentives for Tesla's entry. Musk has stated that India's EV potential is one of the strongest globally. Qatar pledges $10 billion in investment in India. Qatar has announced a $10 billion investment in India, reinforcing economic ties between the two nations. The investment will span sectors such as infrastructure, technology, and food security. Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Qatar's Emir Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani held high-level discussion in New Delhi, aiming to double annual trade of $28 billion over the next 5 years. The agreement marks a milestone in strengthening India-Qatar relations and expanding bilateral trade opportunities. Analysts believe this investment will help India strengthen its energy security. The Indian government has also welcomed additional trade agreements with Gulf nations. Experts see this move as a step toward further economic diversification for both countries. Rising human elephant conflict in India. The increasing number of human elephant conflicts in India has led to alarming casualties on both sides. According to the government data, human fatalities from elephant attack have risen steadily, reaching 629 deaths in the past year. Meanwhile, over 341 elephants have died, with electrocution being the leading cause. The crisis highlights the urgent need for better conservation policies and stricter regulation on electric fencing and power lines. Wildlife experts suggest implementing dedicated elephant corridors to reduce conflicts. The government is considering new compensation programs for affected communities. Conservatives stress the importance of balancing ecological needs with human development. As the war in Ukraine drags on, Russia is closing in on one of Ukraine's largest lithium reserves, the Shkwancho deposit. Donetsk lithium, a key component in batteries and renewable energy technologies, is in the high demand globally. Trump recently suggested that Ukraine should trade critical minerals for US military aid, but Russian forces are already seizing valuable resource areas. With control over key mineral deposits, Russia could gain a strategic advantage, further complicating peace negotiations. Ukraine has vowed to defend its natural resources against Russian controls. Global markets are closely watching how this development will impact lithium supply chain. Expert predicts potential disruption in the electric vehicle and battery industries if Russia take full control of these deposits. That concludes today's bulletin. For more updates, visit our website or follow us on social media. I'm Nutan Vyas, and we will see you next time.